Mr. Mayor, honorable members of council, fellow mission stakeholders, friends, neighbors. First of all, I want to say I think we should have a bagpipe player at the door because it was wonderful when we came out. Wow, what a great idea! Puts everyone in a great mood. Or it can be, I guess, at a funeral or a wake as well. Whatever. That might set a tone as well. I would ask that I could state my concerns first and then be permitted to ask 2 questions at the end. Would that be okay so it doesn't break up in the middle? And I would like to say something. It references a little bit back to the previous presenter that I think is important, and it's only going to take a minute, so don't panic. First of all, I would like to thank all those who have been attending this hearing, asking timely and detailed, precise and passionate questions based on their concerns, because that helps us all, including council, decide what is to like or not about the present proposal, helps us define ourselves as individuals and as a community. And it saddens me, as well as the previous person, that there has been so much divisiveness that I've witnessed, and I haven't even been here for all of the evenings. I wish there could be a better grace and good faith shown to all presenters. Nobody's trying to deliberately waste time. We're all taking our own precious family play or work time. And even though a presenter last evening, Mr. Vickers, did not speak directly to the bylaws per se, he had a great deal of valuable information to impart by example and comparison, by way of other complementary experience, and surely that is the way we learn as well. Now, as regards our particular learning curve in our particular proposed PDA and amended bylaws. I was speaking with a neighbor the other night regarding what I call the 3 letters recently sent to the District of Mission involving what I call the 3 E words. Despite having attended the first nights of the public hearing, she wasn't aware of any of the letters, so it stands to reason that thousands of other residents in Mission who might not have scrounged through the myriad binders of available documents with all their confusing wences, hences, and fences might be unaware of certain aspects of this proposal as well, and they shouldn't be, and I'm going to specify the letters in a moment. Please be patient. But it struck me that these 3 letters, which I will refer to precisely, if members on council and district truly wanted citizens to have a balanced picture of what is being proposed, should have been on the other table in the hallway. Just to say, this is where the proposal stands at the moment, this is what you might want to consider as stakeholders. The fact is, it's a shame there have to be 2 tables and 2 sides to this information sharing and public discussion. I am not a member of CAUSE, although my hat goes off to its members for being such a vigilant and careful watchdog association. Many people, if in fact not in total agreement with many provisions of this Neighborhood 1 plan, also hesitate to be naysayers or seen as negative, and thereby by association deemed to be against so-called progress and Mission's bright future. And that's exactly what Genstar Madison are banking on, quite literally. That if they continually describe the perks and the other side, variously described as crazed bear huggers and merely a fringe group, identify problems, Genstar and colleagues end up looking positive and forward-thinking and thereby become the joiner side. Perception is a powerful marketing tool. Now, that's all I have to say about that. I'm a believer in a positive, consensus-building collaboration of voices for promoting a sustainable, ecologically maintained and enhanced city, integral to and compatible with the surrounding countryside. And who in Mission, and who in this room, so we're all on the same side, that is an inhabitant, a real stakeholder, and not simply a proponent of here today, gone tomorrow development, does not belong to this body of people. So given that, how does the district, or how can the district or members of council even contemplate an agreement, especially the proposed 20-year phase development agreement, despite and in face of the following 3 letters? That's what beats me. Okay, the first letter dated October 17th, 08, from the Department of Fisheries, DFO, clearly states the first neighborhood plan being proposed by Genstar Madison, and I quote, does not include an environmental assessment evaluating the potential impacts on the larger watersheds, does not detail works or location of works that would require Fisheries Act authorization, does not demonstrate that impacts to fish habitat cannot be avoided, or proposed enhancement and or restoration opportunities, end of quote. The second letter, dated October 21st, 08, from the Ministry of the Environment, clearly warns that, quote, given the current ecological health and biological diversity observed in Southwest Mission, moving forward with major land use decisions without defining conservation objectives or evaluating potential impacts will likely lead to an ecologically unsustainable development, end of quote. Now, I have to question whether members of council, when they variously claim that environmental studies are being done and the highest environmental standards being met, are being disingenuous with Mission residents. Letter number 3, though, is the real ringer, for me, with respect to tone. Tone is everything, I find. As a writer and public speaker, it's the thing that sways the as yet unconverted or turns off an audience. It's the clincher to describing an unreliable character or narrator. I also train dogs and horses, and tone is the difference between a dog coming to heel or not. At the end of September of this year, Genstar and Madison sent identical letters to the District of Mission, like some sort of two-legged race to the finish. The correspondence left me with the impression that the developers feel themselves to be in good position to make demands. Where did they get that tone? I had to wonder whether they have reason to feel assured of certain stipulations to, quote, soften the impact of financial burdens, etc., etc. But the most disturbing part of this letter reads as follows. Quote, access to the property for roads and utilities will require easements and rights of way. This exercise must be completely successful, as a single holdout will make utility provision impossible. Economics will not allow for any payments for this access beyond a reasonable and fair value. To ensure success, help from the district will be needed to show willingness to, and if necessary, to enact expropriation. End of quote. So that's the third E word. Now, I don't know how success might be defined, but that doesn't fit my bill. I don't receive a sense of good faith from this writing, or any intention on the developer's part to build a real relationship with the existing community. In fact, I have a sneaking sensation that the various stakeholders in the region are in a somewhat worse spot than originally promised by said developers 3 years ago in the first public hearing to discuss the new OCP changes. I saw some of the first maps at that time being presented by the district, and on a yummy little corner acreage, my own, I saw a school and a real bevy of townhouses. Although I questioned this exciting discovery on my land, I was told no expropriation would ever take place, nor had ever taken place. I was subsequently told by a member then on council that just such expropriation was at that very moment taking place in the Cedar Valley development. And then the subject maps being questioned were nicely removed, never to be seen again. So, this leaves me with a few uneasy feelings, let's put it this way, at this moment. So please, I would ask members of council and the district serving all the citizens of Mission to pay attention to the E words now. Environmental, as in lacking proper independent assessment. Ecological, as in requiring a sustainable development proposal. And expropriation, as in it's being likely and carried out to the specifications of the needs of the developer. Say what? We deserve better than this. We can do better than this.